Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I'm surrounded by beauty. You think this is the blonde show, I know. Well, you've reached Spotlight, but it just so happens I have some lovely, talented ladies with me tonight. And my first guest on my right here is Miss Hilary Power. Hi, Hilary. I'm so glad you could make it.
Hi, Kathy. Thanks for having me.
It's great to be having you here on the show. And Briana Walsh, an actress extraordinaire. Hi, Briana.
Hello.
It's great to have you too, and we're in for some excitement. You're going to be doing a little acting tonight, which is really great. And right now, I'd like to start with Hilary because I've known you for a while. I've heard you sing. You are absolutely fabulous, and I know eventually we're going to hear some cuts from your album, which is called Children of the Wind, right, from your CD. And then we're going to watch a video of you performing, which is great. So first of all, how did you get started in singing and music?
Well, I always loved to sing, even as a little girl. I remember pretending I was an opera singer, which I'm sure my family really appreciated. And then as I grew up, I loved music theater and I loved classical music. And then in high school, I started jazz ensemble, a girls' jazz ensemble.
You started it?
Well, I got into it.
Oh, great.
And
Good.
I got into jazz
Yes.
that way.
Yes.
And I absolutely loved it.
That's great. And where were you raised?
I was born and raised in Lexington, Massachusetts.
Back east.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of things going on in theater and live music back east. I think, there's a lot more now here in the West Coast, but a lot back east. So what you said you did community theater too. I was wondering what shows or what musicals did you do?
Sure. Well, I was in some musicals in high school, and then while I was in my 20s, I was in doing some community theater in Boston.
And
with
tell
the
us
Regal
about
Players. And I was in a 40s show, which was really lots of fun. It had snippets of Broadway musicals and popular music from the 40s. And I was in The King and I.
Oh, which part?
Well, I was one of the mothers, and I had a wig and makeup and a kimono and a little child. And that was lots of fun. And I was also in Hello, Dolly. I was in the chorus, and I had some wonderful costumes and hats and singing and dancing.
Yes, that's a real terrific show
really
with
fun.
Costumes and everything. And so have you had an opportunity out here now to be in a musical?
Well, I've done a little bit here and there, but when I came here to San Francisco, I started to raise a family and eventually found my way back to singing by studying with the late Richard Nicole, who steered me into the cabaret scene. And that's where I met you several years ago.
Yes.
And over the years, I started to get involved in singing for benefits and charity events and at the Octavia Lounge.
Yes.
And
oh my goodness, that goes back. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's closed.
I know.
It's
I
a shame.
know.
So many
It
places
is a
open.
shame.
We have closed many places, Hilary, and open many.
Yes.
Yes,
well, fortunately,
definitely.
we have some new opportunities, which I've
Yes.
been enjoying as well.
And because you've come to my open mic, which is great.
I love your open mic.
And you've been a guest at the Villa D'Est, where
And that's
you
always
feature
really fun.
entertainers. And so there's so many opportunities that way. But I must tell you, I self-produce a lot of those.
Well, thankfully, you're so busy at keeping us all singing. We really appreciate it, Kathy.
Yeah, I better keep on going. But it's true, I do a lot of that myself, yes. And I would love to have everyone out there hear you, and I love the CD. Will you set up the first song we're going to play from it, which is track 2, and it's from Jane Eyre. It's called Sweet Liberty. Now tell us a little about that song. Why did you choose it? And do you know where it happens in the musical? Jane, it's from a musical, right? Jane Eyre.
Yes.
I had never heard of the musical.
Well, it's a new musical, and it's written by Paul Gordon. And in this song, Jane is railing against the limitations that are placed on her, really because she's female.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dear.
she's
In
fighting
those days,
against
and
the
we-
glass ceiling, the 19th century version. So this takes place where she's actually in the schoolroom, and it takes place at the scene switches throughout different times of the day, and she's feeling so constrained by her environment and her role as governess, and she really wants to just fly away.
Well, this is the song, and the lyrics really speak to that. So let's take a moment and listen to your version of Sweet Liberty. We're going to hear some of it, right?
It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I lift my eyes to autumn skies. I look out through the graveyard. A silhouetted swallow flies. He flies to distant countries. I lose him just beyond a cloud. I yearn to be that swallow and go where I am not allowed. Over mountains, over oceans, heaven take me away. For I long for my liberty, for sweet liberty I pray. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I teach what's been instilled in me, but is this all we're meant for? Condemned to mere tranquility, well, women feel as men do. We must engage our minds and souls. Let us like our brothers. Let our words define our roles. Breaking custom and convention, let tradition give way. For we all need our liberty, for sweet liberty I pray. And I wake from my bed with the urge to depart and to follow the dreams of my heart. It's 12 o'clock in the pitch black night. I can't contain my wanderlust. I seek a new adventure. I search the skies because I must. I hunger for new faces to find a better destiny. To fly among the swallows, far above the troubled sea, over mountains.
Wow, I love it that you did it. Oh, your voice is beautiful. That is you, definitely.
Thank you, Kathy.
You should have a lead in a musical. What are you doing sitting here? Come on. And you know what we have in Pacifica? Spindrift players. And they do musicals. Would be great if you could audition for something. I'm sure it's time, I know, because rehearsals take up time, right? And all of that. Is that true?
Well, thanks for the suggestion. I think I'll put that on my list of things
You've
to
got
do.
to put that on your, yes. And you know, Theater Bay Area has open auditions. You probably know that.
Yeah.
Do you know that? That's a great way to, I think, for people to hear you. And the musical itself, I have never seen Jane Eyre. Did you see it?
I actually have not seen the show.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful show. Absolutely great. Now, you also have several other songs on this CD, and I'm sure people are saying, where can I get a hold of that CD if they want it? Well, one thing that's happening is you told me you have a website that is being put together, right?
Yes, I do. And it's under construction, but almost complete.
All right. So do you think it'll be ready in 2 weeks or so? We're taping this show November 30th, everybody. So it'll be ready in December.
I think so, yes.
Good, because we want to know where you're going to be performing.
Oh,
we'll put something up on the screen.
Okay.
But you're planning, I know. Well, before I do more chatter and chatting, let's go on and hear the other track that I thought was so terrific. It's The Girl in 14G. What is that from?
Well, a lot of people think this is from a Broadway musical, but it was actually written by Janine Tesori, who is a Broadway writer, for Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, yes,
And Kristen Chenoweth is just so funny.
She is.
And she's a beautiful and funny singer. She's a wonderful opera singer as well, which many people don't know. And this was a chance for her to show off all of her talents in one song, and I've taken a stab at it.
Great, because this is a great song, and I love Kristen Chenoweth. I want to hear we can't play the whole song because of time, but definitely we're going to play some of it. So let's listen to The Girl in 14G. Sounds like an apartment.
Just moved in to 14G, so cozy, calm, and peaceful. Heaven for a mouse like me. with quiet by the leaseful, pets are banned, parties too, and no solicitations. Window seat with garden view, a perfect nook to read a book. I'm lost in my Jane Austen when I hear. Say it isn't so, not the flat below. From an opera wannabe in 13G, a matinee of some cantata, Wagner's Ring and Traviata. My first night in 14G, I'll put up with Puccini, brew myself a cup of tea.
What fun. You do a great job on that. Do you sing at weddings?
Well, I have sung at weddings, yes.
You must. I mean, I don't know how you do those scales. Being a soprano, but your range is pretty wide, right?
Yes, I do have a wide range.
And we both study with a wonderful coach,
Oh, absolutely.
Peter Maletsky. Oh, fabulous.
Yes, he's
yeah,
wonderful.
He is just wonderful. And I know you have another business, I understand. It's
yes.
called Pilates.
Hilary Power Pilates. Yes, I'm also a Pilates instructor. I work with clients one-on-one with the Pilates machines.
And I have no idea what a Pilates machine is. Would you please tell me?
Well, sure. It was a form of exercise that was invented in the 1900s, early 1900s, by a man named Joseph Pilates, hence the name. And it was actually originally invented for soldiers and prisoners of war who were, very, very damaged by injuries. And so it was a way of strengthening the parts of them that were still functional and helping them recover their strength and function. So
And that's what it's for.
And it's actually now being used by a lot of people. It was very popular among dancers for a long time.
Really? That's interesting. I'm surprised. I know that singers, get a great deal of help, I guess, out of Pilates, or actors.
Well, it's great for strengthening the core muscles, and I think
core.
that's why dancers like it, and singers, and it's a great way of strengthening and stretching, strengthening, and it's a great way for people who are injured to get back to their regular form of exercise if they need a little extra.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. That's fantastic. Well, you do that, and then you devote some time to singing. Well, we're going to also, I know you mentioned you're going to be doing your own show at Society Cabaret, which is great. That's going to be wonderful. And I know you did a performance recently, and you have a video of it. So here we go. We're going to watch a video excerpt. Oh, wait, before we show it, set it up for me. Video.
Sure. This is a recent performance at Performance Encore, produced by Nelson Shaw in Oakland, and I'll be doing a jazz song here with the Keith Saunders Quartet.
Great. All right, let's take a listen.
I've never met you, I've never doubted you, I can't forget you, I thought you acting, I know your profile, and I know the way you kiss, just the thing I miss, on a night like this.
beautiful. Another beautiful, wonderful song. And the way you do it is fabulous. Hilary Power, thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Kathy.
And we're going to be telling everyone pretty soon on the screen where you're going to be performing, because that's the only way to do it, and pick up her CD. And when her website is completed, hilarypower.com, they can maybe purchase it on your website. Well, great. Now, in the meantime, I have over here on my left a wonderful actress. I couldn't believe how great you were. I saw her at the Shelton Theater in San Francisco in Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. Oh, you were great as Stella. Oh, you were fabulous as Stella. And how did you get into acting? Briana Walsh. Briana Walsh. Gotta get the name out there.
Well, originally, I went to school for writing, and I lived right down the block from the Shelton Theater. And I mean, it was already hard enough to convince my family that I wanted to be a writer. I never thought they would take me seriously if I said I wanted to be an actress. So I just kind of kept that in the back of my own mind. But when I was living down the block from the Shelton Theater, I stopped in one night and I saw a production there. And I thought, my God, this is an amazing space. I love it so much. I hope one day I could take an acting class here and see what happens. And so once I graduated, I went to the Shelton Theater, I took a class, and I've been there ever since.
Oh, that's so wonderful. What a great story. Where were you raised then?
Oh, I was raised in Jersey.
In Jersey?
In Jersey.
And then you ended up coming out here, went for college?
For college, yep, about 6 years ago.
Oh, it's just amazing. If that's, you never studied before?
Mm-mm.
I mean, formal acting training.
I
Never.
went to the New York Film Academy, but that's about it.
Oh my gosh, because you have a great talent. I saw you as Stella and it was so believable. But there's some quality you have. It's just a different quality. And I've done a lot of I have acting in my background. I've been acting. I was going to be a movie star. Did you know that?
No.
No. I was going to be a movie star since I was 3. But I didn't quite make that. But I did a lot of theater, and I love comedic theater. But anyway, I've studied acting, and you really have what it takes. It's amazing. So would you be happy or be able to do a monologue for us? I was trying to think
of course.
You had no footage from Tennessee from the play.
No, I just have photos, no footage.
So I would love it if I think the audience would really enjoy it if you would do the monologue that you're going to do. You're going to do 2. The first one is set it up for us, please.
It would be me as Stella in Streetcar Named Desire. The scene is Stella just got into a big fight with her husband, Stanley, who's the brute of the play. And after the big line of Stella, I come down the steps. I throw myself into his arms, and then we go into bed. And then the next morning, my sister Blanche comes in, very frantic, worried for my well-being.
Right.
And so Stella says, Blanche, you're making much too much fuss about this. I've forgotten how excitable you are. He didn't know what he was doing. He was as good as a lamb, and I came back in, and he is very, very ashamed of himself. I mean, I know what you think when men are drinking and playing poker. I mean, anything can happen. Stanley, he's just always smashed things. Well, on our wedding night, as soon as I came in here, he snatched off one of my slippers and just rushed about the place, smashing on the light bulbs with it. He took the heel of my slipper and just smashed all the light bulbs. I was sort of thrilled by it. Oh, I said that I'm not in anything that I want to get out of. I said that I'm not in anything that I have a desire to get out of. I mean, look at the mess in this room and these empty bottles. They went through 2 cases last night. Oh, he promised this morning he's going to quit having these poker parties, but you know how long such a promise is going to keep. Oh, well, it's his pleasure. Like my pleasure is movies and bridge. People just have to tolerate each other's habits, I guess.
Scene.
Yeah, scene.
Fabulous, wonderful. I really get, drawn into what you do. Did you write anything for theater?
Not yet. I did a few screenplays and short films.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you
but,
a member of Scary Cow?
No, I'm not.
Well, I mean, I know they do short films.
I know,
why.
and it gets screened at the Castro Theater.
Yes.
And then I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get into that.
My gosh. Well, would you do we have time for the other monologue, and then I want to talk about your Be Kind. So one more monologue.
one more monologue.
It's called Hurly Burly, right?
Right. This
Okay.
one would be Bonnie from Hurly Burly. It was written in the 80s by David Rabe. Bonnie is a prostitute who is employed by Eddie, and he throws her into a night that she was not prepared for.
Okay.
So Bonnie says, I sat there, Eddie. He drove. And I listened to the music like he wanted, and I told him the sky was pretty. Just trying to add some sort of sense of humanity into the night, some sort of sense of spirit. What I'm getting at is I did nothing. I am a person who allots a certain degree of my energy onto being on the alert for creeps, Eddie. I'm not so dumb as to be ignorant of the vast hordes of creeps running loose here, as if every creep with half his screws loose is tilted here like the continent is tilted, but because this guy was on your recommendation, I'm caught completely unawares and nearly maimed, Eddie. I mean, the guy is driving. So I say, we could go to my house. He says he's hungry. So I say, great, how about a Jack in the Box? So he asks if that is code for something. So then I detect he's looking at me. So I smiled. Eddie, I smiled. It's a friendly gesture in most instances, but to this guy, it promotes all this paranoid crap. Eddie, the next thing I know, he just shouts he knew this venture was a one-man operation. He starts pushing me out of my own car, Eddie. He is trying to drive it and slow it down and push me out all at once. I mean, you say so yourself, Eddie. It is a rough century all the way around. What is that, some sort of justification to start pushing people out of their own cars? Look, I think that you should be told that you are 100% with your head up your ass about me. Because I'm a person whose entire life with a child to support depends on her physical grace and her capabilities of imaginary inventiveness. With her, I could express something of interest in the air by the way I move the balloon alongside my body, Eddie. Without my work, what am I but a scrunt on the meat market of the streets? Because this town ain't nothing but mean in spite of the palm trees. Now that's my point about desperation, Eddie. Just call me if you want a few more references, just in case you thought I was over here, some mindless blonde over here with blonde hair and blue eyes. Scene.
Oh my gosh, that's great. The different emotions that you evoke in such a short monologue.
Yeah.
You have to, I mean, you really do. You switch. How many
understand anything I said in that?
Yes, I did. I got it. I don't know if I want to. I don't know about Hurly Burly, but
it's an intense play.
It's very intense.
Yeah.
Have you read it? Seen it?
I've read it. They did a movie version of it. I believe in the 90s with Sean Penn and Meg Ryan. She plays Bonnie.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that movie.
Me neither.
I did not make that. So, are you up for some other shows? You said you may have something.
So I just got a call back for Will Marchetti. He's directing A View from the Bridge by Arthur Miller. And I auditioned for that yesterday, and I got a call back for tomorrow. So
we wish you wonderful, wonderful success and luck.
Oh, thank you.
And if you write, it would be, I would love to see some of your written work.
Yeah. Actually, right now I'm working on a screenplay. So my sister, she wrote a book earlier this year. She was a young soldier, 19 years old, going into the Iraq War, just being thrown into it. Her platoon invaded an area. I just don't want to get into it. It's a big, immense story, and she asked me to adapt the book for her.
How
So I'm working on
wonderful.
that.
So you have writers in your family.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is just great. I'm so impressed with the talent I'm surrounded with tonight. Just tell me one more thing. The audience doesn't know about your other business. Be Kind.
Yes, my
B-E-E,
day
Kind.
job.
Your day job. Just quickly tell us a little bit about Be Kind.
Be Kind.
We
Be
don't have much
Kind
time.
is a family-operated business based in Sebastopol, California. I work for the kiosk that's located in the Ferry Building, which is at the end of Market Street with a tower. It's an inside farmer's market every day. And the owners of the company, Doug and Kasha, they're a couple. And Doug got into beekeeping about 10 years ago to help out with the colony collapse disorder. Like bees were just disappearing in Sonoma County, and Doug really wanted to do something about it. So he studied beekeeping. He went into it full force. He quit his day job and he started the business, and it's been going strong ever since. But not even just the business. So many people in the area are now becoming beekeepers and are saving the bees and stopping all these harmful pesticides that are just ruining agriculture. And
well, it's just a wonderful business. I just have to watch our time. My glasses, I'm putting them on so I could get the time. I think it was 3 minutes we have to go, right? And maybe, I think so. But at any rate, the beekeeping, is really interesting to me. But you're not in that. You sell the product of the honey,
I just sell the honey and the beeswax candles that Doug makes all by hand.
Beeswax candles.
Oh, man.
That is great.
Yeah.
Do they last longer?
They last so long. Like a taper of 12 inches could burn for 30 hours.
Well, that's fantastic.
And they drip less and they smoke less. And they also emit negative ions, so they relax you as well.
That's great. I do know an actor, George McRae, who I work with occasionally in Mystery Theater. He raises bees. And that's why he's also doing this, because it's really
awesome.
When the bees leave,
we leave.
We leave. That's right. Let's see. I'm not sure how many. I think I have a couple of.
That's
1 minute. Okay. So we want to wrap everything up. I want to thank both of you for coming on the show, and you have a website,
I do.
which is great. So when people want to see you in a show. And you're going to work on your singing too, I understand.
Yes.
I want you to come to my open mic some night. Just
in Chinatown.
Yes. Just bring a song and plan to do it. Shota can, back everybody. So what kind of music do you want to do? Jazz or?
A little bit of jazz.
Great.
A little bit of jazz.
Okay. Well, see, that's really great because he can do that. We'd love to have you sing. And Hilary, I'm going to look forward to seeing you maybe at the Society Cabaret if my schedule will let me, because Christmas is coming up and it's December already. Can you believe it? There's so many
December's
things
tomorrow.
going on. So you're going to get lots of shoppers for
for
honey and candle and the Ferry Building. Oh my gosh, it's so busy
so
in San
excited.
Francisco. It's so great. And I think both of you should audition, for theater. Live theater. We live. Live theater, musical theater, cabaret. It's all right here, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Mambo Italiano, hey mambo, mambo Italiano, go, 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 you mixed up Siciliano. Are you Genovese to the mambo like a crazy with a hey mambo? Don't want a tarantella, hey mambo, no more a mozzarella, hey mambo.